Yo, what's up? It's your boy Tedder. We're back with another interview. Got my Lord over here. Introduce yourself.
What's up? Hey, I'm Akira. I'm Lute niece. I'm lit. October 27th, my birthday coming up. You know, it'll be the Jordan year 23. Big
Yes.
shit.
What's up, though? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Kids good?
Always.
That's what's up. So, this if y'all seen Wanda interview, that's her mom. That's my sister. So if y'all seen her interview, man, you didn't go check that out. That's on my page though. But yeah, we ready to get right into it, man. You know what I mean? I always do these interviews, like I said, leave a legacy.
Right.
It's real big important that I do these interviews with everybody, man. Anybody and everybody. You don't gotta be famous, nothing like that. But we gonna get this shit out the way. So it's your boy Tedder. So I get these interviews and we start from like, you know, when everybody was young though. So from what you remember as a kid, I mean not even really as a kid, we're gonna start from school. Now man, what can I start from? Like elementary? If you remember anything about elementary school or something like that, how it was in elementary school, but at the same time how it was as a kid growing up in Baltimore City, and maybe which part of Baltimore City.
Right, okay.
You got east, west, south, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be specific now.
Right, okay. So, anybody know me, I'm originally from South Baltimore. I grew up in Brooklyn Homes Projects at South Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of started my life from. So anybody know, everybody went to Big Brook Elementary. That's where everybody went. I was there with my cousins, Tanae, Talafia, Tyon, Toot. We all went there. So
For real?
Yeah, we all went
What
there.
grade was that?
Shit, I was in the younger grade. I'm like third grade, no, I'm like first, second
I do
grade.
not remember that.
Hell yeah, we all used to walk up the hill together because you know grandma used to live out of bungalows. So
Where was that?
and how you was down there? My grandma used to live in a bungalow, so we used to come down the hill and we used to go straight to grandma's house. And when she lived right there, and then
Well, the bungalow, that's when they moved from
they moved. She was in the bungalows first, and then remember she got the house right there. Yup, yeah. So throwback.
Yeah,
Because we always lived in that house right there. Our house, it was like grandma's house by closer to Baybrook.
How old y'all was? Because I left.
I
left though.
Okay, so you was coming back.
I left 9 to 10.
And
So
then
y'all was still little. So I wasn't in school.
You was like 4 or 5. Cause I also went to daycare out Brooklyn too. That everybody went to daycare right there by the post office. I went to daycare. They gonna know about the box lunches that they used to hand out at the center and shit like that. Yeah, niggas go back. So yeah, I went to daycare out there and then transferred me into Big Brook Elementary.
I'm just stuck on you.
Cousins, so we all out there been deep as shit, cousins and all that. We all going. We all used to meet up with each other and go to school together. So it started from there. So I'm originating from South Baltimore, and my dad from Cherry Hill. So it went from me being out Brooklyn, hopping back to Cherry Hill, and then being out Brooklyn.
So you talking about just hopping, or you talking about school hopping?
Like school hopping, like not school hopping, but like back and forth at that time. You know, South Baltimore until we moved out Essex. Then after
don't move too. I said don't move too fast. So. Let's still stick out Brooklyn though. So did you finish? We talking about did you finish?
No. I never finished. I stayed out Brooklyn until I was born. Until I was born all the way until I was about 6 years old. That's when I moved from Brooklyn out to Essex. Essex kind of further than Dundalk. Like
so how many years that you? Because like I said, I want to move too fast. I'm saying I want to because I don't want them to get all over the place.
Yeah,
so we're gonna stick straight to it. I'm talking about because we're going back to the elementary school. How many years did you finish in elementary school out Brooklyn?
Until the time I was 6, so I wrote like 3 years. Well, 3 good years, like pre-K, kindergarten, and almost first grade. About the time I was in the middle of my first grade, my mother was already moving us. This is the time that she met my little sister's father, Martin, because Martin was still living with us. And when my sister was born, our baby sister Aliyah, My mother felt like it was time for us to go because a lot of shit was going on out in Brooklyn, like, far as deaths, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though it was
So
still...
it was like rough neighborhood
Yeah.
drugs.
Brooklyn wasn't like, when we say white people or Caucasian people, we not talking about your everyday Brooklyn Joe. We talking about your crackheads. We talking about your fiends. We talking about you roughnecks type white people that we all grew up around. And then my mom just got tired of us playing the alleys and doing a lot of reckless shit and doing a lot of things we had no business doing. And then, like I said, we was all family. So my mother stuck around due to us having so much family close by, for real. So it was just like heartbreaking at the same time, but you know, we had to go on.
So besides Brooklyn and all that, cause what I remember, would you agree with this? Would you think it was any good community love out there though? Like
Hell yeah.
Everybody was close.
The hood is the best place to get love from, and I say that to say because when we moved out Essex, shit was quiet.
Well, I'm saying don't forget because you, like I said, when cause I ain't want you to leave that part out that everybody was kind of living out there. You know,
yeah,
your
family. We had you, we
Tanya,
had Grandma, we had Mr. Glenn, which is my grandfather. We had Tanya, which is my aunt, and her kids, which is my cousins. And
so we like owned the whole shit.
Like we out here lit, like we had literally my immediate family, not people that I just say like, oh, that's my family. Like, no, that's my family. Like we did everything together. Like we literally was walking distance. Like these is if any black person know, this is the cousin that you get your hair hot combed with. This your Easter cousins. These are party in a van cousins. Like these are throwback cousins. So this was like so much love that when we had to go, because at that period of time I didn't notice that my aunt moved. Aunt Tanya moved out Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
So
what year was that?
This oh god, because I'm not gonna say I remember.
Was you a teen or was you a kid still?
I was a child.
Right.
Aunt Tanya moved way before we did. So Aunt Tanya moved first.
She was the first one. Yeah.
Aunt Tanya moved and Aunt Taisha moved, and well, Aunt Taisha never lived out there, but Aunt Taisha stopped coming out there, and then that's when we moved, and then Grandma moved. So you know, skip forward to that, we moved out Essex, and fortunate for us, our granddad lived around the corner, Miss Kim, which is my youngest aunt's mother. So we lived around the corner from them. Yeah, so we used to see them sometimes, but
I'm not deleting it.
Yeah,
she mentioned everybody's names.
Yeah,
So
you know me. So
yeah,
my granddad, we seen him a lot for real, and then.
So is this out the county now?
Yeah, Essex.
All right, because you throwing me off. So
yeah, we live.
So now I'm saying, so calm down. That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you,
all right, so I'm saying, Brooklyn, it was good days, good times, and good days out there.
Literally, I told you, at the end, like the middle of first grade, that's when my mother like up and moved us out Essex.
No, I'm saying when you sum it up. The little bit of time you had out of Brooklyn then. So it was good days, bad days, it was cool though.
Yeah,
it was the hood. It was the hood look. Like, drugs and,
it was the typical hood shit, but as a child, you don't see that. Like I said, as a child, you see the bus. When I say bus, like you got snacks, you got your food, you got your bread, you got your Reynolds, you got the Huggy juices, you got this is what we endured in the hood. Like this is what I miss.
We had the candy lady, the
window lady, like this is when
apples and
this is when I don't know what y'all know about this, the pickled eggs and the cheese seeds. This is what I'm talking about, hood love. Like we had friends, like, and it's like everybody out there was just showing love because, oh yeah, that's Wanda daughter, that's the, or you just had friends that you just grew up with from around the way. Like, so, like I said, when we moved from there.
After the Brooklyn days, so what year comes to Essex now?
Essex was in the same year of me being in first grade, so it was about early 2000s, because it had been like early 2006.
What's this little Bow Wow B2K?
Yeah, definitely. Because I shout out to Easter one time. My brother won a Harlem shit contest down to Hammer Jacks. Throwback club in Baltimore. Yeah, my brother won Harlem Shake contest. We had I had a Puma sweatsuit on. Yeah, bro had the Lakers sweatsuit on, baggy. Like this is a throwback. So this was way back when. So yeah, like so around that time.
So the Essex days.
Essex days was like it was minimum, the shortest shit. Mind you, it was just short. Essex, we was out there for like maybe a year. So
any schools?
Yeah, I went to one school. Shit was terrible. Like Essex.
Is middle or still
elementary?
Oh, all right.
So middle, like Essex schools is dry shit. Like you don't make that many friends, and at that period of time, I had to my life transition out of Essex.
Not to cut you off, but even though when I went out Essex too, it does open you up to different races of people though. Because it's hella white, Puerto Rican, Mexican.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll be trying to tell them, because a lot of people, like, I'm from East Baltimore, a lot of people know I'm from Baltimore, but they don't understand that, because everybody be like, well, shit, you from the hood and all that. So, every time you say the hood anywhere, it's a whole bunch of niggas.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of niggas. But it's but when you do go in the county, because I told everybody, because when I first went to Essex and shit, nigga, I was surprised. I never been around white people. That shit was like some new shit to me. It's a whole, but that's what they had. Dundalk, Essex, and all this. That's what they, that's what they had and shit.
This is the first time, living out Essex, my sister's dad took me fishing. Mind you, I'm from the hood. We open the fire hoses. We that's how we get out swimming pools and shit going on. I was literally out Essex. We lived behind a pond. This was some whole different shit to me.
So you went fishing out there?
Hell yeah.
You said, well, who?
Martin, which is my sister's dad.
He was out there?
Yeah.
He lived with what?
This was when Leah was literally just born.
I'm saying, so they moved together?
Yes.
Your mom and
my mother moved because
both of them moved together. Mm-hmm. So he was living out there already? Or
he moved originally with us out of Brooklyn. And then my mother had her baby shower for Leah. She gave birth to Leah at John Hopkins, and then that's when maybe a couple months into Leah's life, a little bit before she turned 1, we moved to Essex because my mother felt as though she wanted a different start. She wanted a different life for us because Martin, which is my sister's father, he's from New York, so that's a whole different lifestyle. He just was Brooklyn was kind of like the lifestyle he lived in New York.
Yeah.
So
same shit, right?
My mom did the right thing by moving us, and I understand it now as an adult, but it was kind of upsetting when I was a kid. You get what I'm saying? Because you moved me from what I knew.
Yeah.
So we moved out Essex, and it was we stayed in the house a lot. We didn't really go outside as much because, like I said, we lived in wooded areas.
And I remember that because everybody kept saying damn, they missed that. Even everybody kept saying they missed that for your mother. They was that was one of the best houses she had and shit. You know what I mean? Because you got to really, because the thing about Essex, we out Dundalk now, but the thing about you gotta get, it just gotta break you in. The same thing if a nigga get locked up in prison, never been locked up before, niggas gonna break you in. You gonna get used to it.
We had to stay out there for a long period of time.
Y'all was out there bitch for 10 years, you would know.
Different, I would know a lot of people. My mom, unfortunately, love you, mom, but my mother was crazy. She is crazy. So
here we go.
It was a lot of kabobble that took place, and we ended up having to move.
Yeah. So
my mom, we stayed out there for a year, maybe if that, and we took like I said, my life transitioned from Essex because from Essex, my mother felt like I had a behavioral problem. And
all right, so we get South Baltimore, Essex. So now we gotta go to the third chapter. So after Essex, so now what we
after Essex, my whole life changed.
So, all right, so what city or who we in?
After Essex, we literally moved out west. We moved over west.
What part of west?
West, Catonsville, Emerson Avenue. We lived Cooks Lane. Anybody that knows Cooks Lane?
Oh, that's the big house.
We made a big jump. So we lived from a project house to living out Essex in a townhome to living in a house. So it was so different. We came out here. Cooks Lane was a fucking
I was about to say, tell me how
mix. It was a mix. It was a mix a hood, but white, because we lived on the borderline of the county.
Middle, all right.
So it was a mix. We lived in a big house, 3-bedroom, basement, backyard, front yard. We had a nice house, a really, really nice house. My mom always made sure if anything, that we had a really good place to live and had a really good place to lay our head. Hands down, my mother always did that. So when we moved there, it was so different. Like, we out there, like, but that never stopped us. We project kids, like, we just like, me and my brother playing around and stuff like that. And at the time, I was about 7, going on 7. And my brother was about 5, and my sister was about like 2 years old. She was still really little. So she basically grew up there because long story short, we ended up living there for 15 years.
Right, I keep forgetting about
So
that.
my sister grew up there. Like, that's our home. My mom moved because she just felt like it was so much of the past living there because my sister's father passed away, a lot like that.
So over that place, that's where middle school and high school started.
Middle school, high school hit for me like.
So how middle was over there?
Middle was fucking terrible.
Because I want the audience to know, like I said, a lot of people not from Baltimore, so tell them how, like, cause some people, like I said, like, I don't know what anybody gets so scared of Baltimore City because they always hear bad shit.
It's not.
I mean, if it's bad,
cool
but
being like, middle.
I'm saying just break it down as an average kid, like if you in the Baltimore City school. I mean, just break it down. I mean, because everybody get picked on. Everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
anyway.
I don't want everybody to keep thinking that Baltimore City is like, yo, it's resident evil. Like, dog, you won't get shot and killed out this bitch. It's not like that. So, I mean, but just break it down how you, the goods and the bads of middle school when you was over. Now you was over West Baltimore now. Because now you say you from South Baltimore. But now you all the way over West Baltimore.
Yes.
So, yeah, break that down. So now
it was different.
You can put that in the ball break. So
in
break
perspective.
down middle school and the high school together and over West Baltimore at that time.
So, like I said, I finished elementary school over West. But not your average West. So like I was telling you, Essex changed my life because I was mentally diagnosed with ODD, ADHD, and bipolar. So for anybody that don't know, that's a mental disorder. It's you suffer from it, and it's a battle. It's a hard battle because somebody telling you that you have something and you going through your regular life is different.
So that go back to what you said. Your mom was crazy, so you crazy too, nigga.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm crazy.
Chopper style.
I'm not saying I'm crazy. I'm just not somebody to fuck with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was at that
Same
age.
nigga.
At that age, I was highly medicated.
Oh yeah, you know that.
You was on my mom. No, I was on a special medication. I was on Shaterra. So
do you think the medication they prescribe for people that have certain things, do you think that really help, or you think that's just a mental thing?
It fucked me up.
I'm saying, do you think it's just a mental thing? Like,
it fucked me up. That medicine don't help. That medicine had me isolated. Like, you ever seen what's it called? With the dude that going to the sunken place.
I'm drunk, so I don't
it's
know.
like y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm a little drunk too.
Yeah, I ain't
it's
know
called the movie with the dude that is in a sunken place with the white people and shit that fuck with him. That's what that shit do to you. Like, if you got kids that that's dealing with mental issues, don't put them on medication. Give them therapy. Give them time to heal. Because my mother, being a young mother and a single mother, she did as much as she could, but she was so frustrated and she just kind of threw me on medication. So it kind of messed me up real bad because she not knowing how this medicine make me feel. I'm talking to myself. I'm thinking I'm going crazy. Like,
was it like a drug with like drowsy?
It's like a perk.
Like you like
it
knock you
out. I'm like 7, 8 years old. Just
I think that's what the rhythm.
They like the pill. She give me the pill. I'm like, no, ma, I don't want to give it to me. I don't want to take it. She giving me like Pepsi, like putting it in bread, like giving me anything.
Who said that?
Like she was doing anything just to get me to get this medicine. I'm like, bro, I cannot take this shit. And she didn't give it to me all the time because I would cry to her, like, let her know, like, I can't take this shit no more. Like, I'm going through my day. Like, y'all ever seen a music video where like, and it's like going in fast motion, and the day go by so fast, and you wake up like, what happened that period, like that day, like it's literally in a sunken place. And
so you think with your condition, was you Was that hurting you in school, or you think you was comprehending everything in school? Like you was
The
passing
school
grades?
didn't care because
How your grades was? Like you was passing
I was
grades?
always smart, but sometimes I would have my days like my mom. So with my
You talking about getting in trouble?
yeah, with my condition, I tried to go to regular schools at first, but I couldn't go to regular schools because unfortunately I had an incident in school where they taped and they recorded me trying to harm a teacher. So they sent me to like special schools where they can restrain me and put me in padded walls, and it was kind of traumatizing. So like they put me in rooms where they can restrain me, and sometimes some teachers will take you too far and stuff like that, and throw you face on the ground, knee in your back, like
Sound like prison.
like it was real,
Yeah,
like
sound
it's
like prison.
because they don't tell your parents everything that happened.
Pour me some of that.
Yeah.
Split that. Break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sound like prison though.
Yeah, so like my mom didn't tell nobody what was going on because she just didn't understand it herself. Like it was hard. Like
It's the wrong time. But,
yeah,
that's
look,
fucked
so
up,
like yeah, they would restrain me like and like I'm just to demonstrate real quick, y'all. Like this.
no,
is
don't choke me in
no. I'm telling myself like this is what I mean. Like I'm 8. They doing like this, face on the ground, arms up, like bending your arm up like a chicken wing, like, and you crying for your mother, you crying for your mother.
So here go another question then. So being cause you said your mom was a single mother though. So do you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of times, do you think a lot of the kids in Baltimore City, do you think we give a lot of single moms a hard time, or do we never sit back and like, damn, you know what? Like, she did try her best, though. Like, yo did, you know, even though we might don't get along, niggas be arguing and fussing.
Right.
Like, yo did try her best, though, so I give her that.
No.
Like, you think, like, what?
As a single
I'm talking about, like, 50-50, like, highs in Baltimore City.
As a single mother, now, of two children with your boys.
You talking about your son?
No, I'm just saying, like,
back in the
from that period to now, as a single mother, nothing has changed. The only thing is that we got going for ourselves is the system. And if we do, which is quote unquote welfare, we get beat up for it. We get like beat up meaning verbally. Like we get attacked for it. Oh, she a bum because she worked in the system. But that's all we got going for ourselves half of the time when these dads don't want to step up and do what they got to do as men. So it's like Baltimore City, not just Baltimore. Literally the fucking United States does not have any solution to help single mothers. Yes, you have food stamps. Yes, you have TCA. But as a mother who went through all of those, it takes months of evidence. They drug test us. They do background. They do welfare checks on your children. Like, you a drug addict or something. Like, you just a fiend. Like, you looking for, give me. Not knowing this shit go to the kids. And if you miss an appointment because you overslept or because your kid got school, they'll take that shit from you. Just like that. It's hard out here.
That's the Baltimore lifestyle.
Yeah,
so we gonna get to so we got to the elementary, the middle, things like that. So now we get to the high school. So now the high school still over Baltimore City, West Baltimore, right?
No.
High school.
So
you said high school. You still
middle school.
You said you finished that, right?
No, I finished elementary school over West, boom. Which I went to Sharpland Hall. Shout out to the crazy people that went there. I went to Calverton, which is over West by Poplar Grove and all that. And then
most of you finished everything over West.
West, yeah. And then I went to Garrison, finished that over West.
That was a high school?
I'm gonna get in a little bit into that too, though. Because there's a backstory behind that.
I'm saying so now.
No, it's a backstory behind my middle school.
Oh, go ahead then. You skip. All right.
Yeah,
I was getting to the high school.
Yeah, because it's a lot to me. Middle school, my ending of my 7th grade year.
Keep talking. I gotta take a church. Take a piss. I keep my shit hood. Fuck.
No,
go ahead. You keep talking.
Yeah. So I ended up going to Calverton out of elementary school because I didn't know any other schools around. The school that was my zone school, which is Thomas Jefferson, which my brother and my sister went to. I wasn't able to go due to my condition, I guess. That's what they told my mom. So I ended up going to Kelvin, which had an IEP, which is IEP is basically specialized for kids with like disabilities, mental, or like kind of health issues, which allows kids to graduate up until 21. I didn't do that, but that's what our IEP was for, and place for kids who needed special help. Again, I didn't need it, but it was there for me to lean back on. So I went to Kelton, and I had a big situation which was life harming to me, and I had to go and I had to transfer to Gerson. And Gerson, I didn't end up at Gerson on the slide. I actually ended up getting locked up. And
what age was this?
I was 12 going on 13.
The devil himself. Go ahead.
So the situation itself was a neighborhood. This neighborhood hopping bitch for real. She was a little older bitch for real. I'm like, so like I told you, I'm like 12, 13. And she like 15, 16. And she coming around thinking that she was tough and all that. And she, I ended up losing my phone one night. Mind you, I knew this girl for months going on in at this time. So I only knew of her. It was cool at some point, but then I started fucking with her. So I lost my phone walking to the store one day with her, this other girl named Pooh Bear, and like the boy, this Tyshawn. He a little faggy nigga for real. So
we're not talking about no legal situation with
no
felonies and all right.
No, I'm good on these juvenile charges. I can talk about these.
You don't want anybody to get locked
One
up.
of my many charges.
It's not Vlad TV.
No, this is charges way bigger.
It's not Vlad TV, yo.
So yeah, at this time, the long story short, I dropped my phone. My uncle actually just got me this phone, the red and black, pretty phone. Like this phone was hot at the time for real. Like
yeah, good memory.
So yeah, I got a way good memory. So my uncle just got me this phone for my birthday.
Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, don't use this phone. Don't mess this phone up." I'm like, "All right, bet." Man, I ended up letting it like slide out my pocket, and I'm like, "Fuck, I hit my phone." And I'm asking them, like, you know, my phone. So, long story short, she scooped my phone up. She stole it. But she translated it to, oh, yeah, she a bitch. I took her phone. And I'm like, when you take my phone? Like, when you take my phone? Like, so I'm like, yeah, I want to fight her. Girl was never to be seen. Much going on in long story short. There's a whole lot of, oh, yeah, if you see her, I'm going to smack the shit out of her. This is me. I'm up always told me stand up for what you believe in, because this is not my first. This was like my fourth fight going on in at the age of 12, 13. Sad to say, that's the life we live. That's the life I live. I'm not gonna say everybody.
Yeah, look.
So
I mean, it can be hard in Baltimore.
Yeah, you got all in all in Baltimore. If you don't stand your ground, you get. Excuse me, it's either get stepped on or get stepped over. You get what I'm saying? So a motherfucker ain't never gonna step on me. So they gonna make sure I know I'm not that rock to step on.
And I'm gonna elaborate that me being older, like I said, I'm gonna be 35, but it's sad that, and I actually told my nephew this too. I said that you know, as the older you get, you're gonna notice that, you know what I mean, as far as when you count on hands, is that how many people that you was ever beefing with or getting into some shit with. And I said, it's always gonna be more of your people than any other race, dog. You know what I mean? I said I could count. For me, I only been into some situations about maybe like 5 or 6 white people, but if I can get a whole bunch of hands, all of them been niggas. You dig what I'm saying? So this is the sad thing that, you know, I mean, it's not just a Baltimore thing, yo. It's everywhere. It's not just, you know what I mean? Everybody talking about Chicago, Detroit, and fucking New York and all, dog. This shit, wherever God got the black people at, it's gonna be some trouble. Like it's going, you know what I mean? Because we fucked up as a people. So it's not, you know what I mean? What she's saying is, it like, and it's sad because, you know what I mean? Sometimes our older generation, you know, put that spirit up in us, and you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck they was taught, they put it in us, and then, you know, we get it, and then we think it's good.
It's
and right.
generational thing.
Yeah,
it's
like,
not,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's not like I told you the type of. I'm gonna get into that. The type of mom and dad I had.
Oh yeah, we can get in that.
Yeah, so y'all gonna understand. You gonna understand the situation that I'm going through.
We gonna get into the family thing. So to scratch all that. So school elementary, middle, and high school.
So,
You had a good years.
No, like I told you, in a long story short, me and the girl ended up getting into a situation. She came to me when I was with my baby sister, and she tried to bank me. It was like 20 girls. Long story short, I ended up stabbing her. And only reason why I stabbed, I had to. I faced these charges, y'all. I did my time. I did my time on probation, community service. I only admit to this because not to say I'm proud, because as a person, I did this shit out of self-defense because I'm 12, 13 years old and a 15, 16-year-old girl and 12 other fucking people, 20 other people. Like, I can't even count. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, it was so many fucking people that was coming at me, trying to bank me. Like, my dad, my sisters, all of us. If it wasn't for them being there, they would have banked me. And my mom taught me so much shit. Like, this shit is in my DNA. So I felt like the life we live in Baltimore is you get them or you get got. That's what we live by. So if I wasn't gonna get her that day, she was gonna get me. Yeah. So I felt like I had to get her. I had to set the shit in stone. Like, I'm not to be fucked with. Cause from that day on, I did what I did. I did what I did, but ain't nobody fuck with me since then. And that ended my middle school year. I went to Garrison, graduated. I went to Ace High School, which is like east-west. I wouldn't say it was like all the way east because a lot of fucking east side kids went there. I had a good 4 years of high school there. Met my baby father there. I got pregnant at 16.
Are you talking about it is what it is?
It is what it is. I don't care. Like I said, only fortunate part about it is the fact that my baby father was in my children's life till this day. He's not now. He's a piece of shit. So, but yeah.
Don't skip over everything.
No, I'm telling you.
I got questions to ask.
No, listen, I'm skipping the whole 4 years. The whole 4 years, I had a great high school year.
That's what we did.
I had great friends. I think
they're gonna say, did you graduate, girl?
Yeah, I graduated high school with like this, y'all. My son was in the audience.
So you got high school diploma.
My brother held my son while I crossed that stage.
Answer that question.
Yes.
So you got
with my high school diploma.
So from Baltimore City, because a lot of Baltimore people don't do that. Let's give a hand clap for that.
They don't believe in that shit. Like, I made sure that when I tell you that I held down 2 jobs, pregnant, with my son father being in the army, I held it down. You hear me?
And you stop. She fucking me. So all right. So give a hand clap for that. So now we're gonna get to. I got you. We're gonna get all that. So let's talk about all that process and all that. So let's talk about family members and things like that. So let's go back to your mom and dad. How you think they was treating you as you was a kid growing up and all that? You know, of course we didn't have everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean? Shit. But one thing I can say, a lot of the black families, and like, you know what I mean? I do give them credit because sometimes, you know, I might argue with my mother and stuff like that. But niggas do try their best, so I understand that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, because we don't got too much. I remember, I'm just talking about me now. You know what I mean? Me and my mom used to go to the church. We used to get a bag of canned goods. They used to give us a brown plastic bag, bananas and apples and shit like that. Like, syrup sandwiches, you know what I mean? Like, I remember, like, back in the day, like, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That, like, I know, I've been from that. So how you think, your mom and dad was, growing up though, and just be honest with it. You know what I mean? It can be raw, just like how you think. We can start with your mom first. How you think she was as a mom? Growing up. Your mom from Baltimore City. Just having kids. You know what I mean? Just growing up and things like that.
Let me my drink though, cause.
I mean, just keep it real. Cause some parents, like I said, they try their best, and some parents be mean as fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
I would give my mother
like a 1 out of 10. What, like
a 5.
20?
Out of 1 out of 10, I'll give her a 5. I love my mother to death because I have to, and I say that because my mom went through a lot.
But a 5 was hard, so you gotta break that down.
I'm gonna break it down.
Yeah, you gotta break that down.
I'm gonna break that down.
And don't break it off just on feelings and emotions.
No, off of facts.
Yeah,
like, off of straight facts. Like,
because, let me talk fuller, because you did have food in your belly, you did have clothes, and you did have a grandma. You know what I mean? That niggas babysitting and stuff like this. So I know. So I don't know that like what you about to say. I'm just saying, but I'm not taking up for her neither. But I'm just saying, like I'm just going by what I'm saying. I'm going by what I'm saying though. So I don't know. So a 5, I'm saying a 5.
From living with her.
That's like average. All right, that's like average.
From living with her to like I'm talking about from as a childhood to present. Is a 5 for me because I feel like. And
we're gonna rate your dad after this too.
A lack of effort, and I'm gonna say this.
And what standard of what?
Of being a mother or trying to be one. And I love my mother. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if my mother know me, I would do anything for her. But like I felt like I was more of a sibling than a child because I'm gonna say this. Growing up.
What age did you felt that when you just said
I felt that my whole life.
Oh, all right, cool.
Because growing up, my mom was young when she had me, as well as me having my son. I was 17 going on 18 having my child, which is he be 6 soon. And my mom had me at 18, turning 19. My mom was in a hospital. She had cesarean, which is a C-section, having me. On her birthday, she was in the hospital with me. Right. So a lot of hatred kind of grew because my mom. It's a lot of backstory to me. My middle name is Kenaldra. I'm not gonna give you my full name. My middle name comes from another man, which my mom thought that was my dad, and he wasn't. It was an honest mistake. It was nothing like. My mom was sleeping around, nothing like that. My mom was with my dad for a good amount of time, and then he went to jail. So, and then he was gone for a long time, and then she met Kennard, and she just found out that she was pregnant, but she didn't know that she was like 4 or 5 months along. So by the time she had gave birth to me, and they did a test, and I came out to have sickle cell trait, which is a form of the disease, which my dad has the full-blown disease. So that's how she found out who my dad was. Mm. So that came from a different because my dad was in and out of jail. But thank God because Kennard ended up serving a 21-year service for, you know what I'm saying, for murder. So yeah. So thank God that things turned out the way they did because I would have never had no dad. Instead of a person that was dead. My dad was in and out of jail, but he was dead. That's that. But my mom, like, kind of still in her party phases, and like, she's still trying to be young.
She was young.
She was young. But sometimes you gotta give up the life that you have to make sure that your child have theirs. So I felt as though, which is where my uncle come in, my grandma and my uncle Kareem, which is Lute.
That's not my name.
Not his name.
That's not my name. Go ahead.
Like, yeah, scratch that.
Uncle Lute, yeah.
Uncle Lute. They played a big factor into my life. And Mr. Glenn, which is my granddad, he's not my biological grandfather, but that is my biological grandfather because he raised me literally since birth. Yeah. So it played a factor because without them, like, I wouldn't have manners. I wouldn't have, like, a lot of things that I needed.
You tend to pick up.
Yeah, like, I needed, I'm getting emotional. I needed a lot of things from a lot of people, and my mom was just so angry. And, like, she was angry towards me because she felt as though, like, I was stopping her life. Mm. So, my grandma is the one who saved me because without my grandmother being there, she probably had abortion. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's crazy? Not to cut you off, and I don't know for sure, like I said, because that's why I think when you get a chance, I think you need to probably go back and look at your mom interview because I think that what you saying, it's like the same pattern of what she was going through with Audrey and all that. You dig what I'm saying? So I think that that's why I think it's sad with our family, man, because it's like the cycles is just hard to be broken with. Mm-hmm. She was talking about like how she was as a kid. Like, it's crazy, yo. You saying the same thing that she's saying that the same shit she was going through with Origin, she was like, you know, wasn't nobody there for me. Like, she was telling me shit, and I don't want to just focus on her, but I'm gonna get back to what I'm talking about. But she was saying like, she was saying like, you know, when she wanted to sing, and she said like, I ain't had no mom and dad. Them motherfuckers wasn't there to support me. Them niggas wasn't doing nothing though. So even that's what I'm saying. If you looking, if Wanda looking at this now, I don't want her to get upset and mad about that, because if your daughter feel that type of way, then you know what I mean. That's a pattern. That's a pattern that wasn't broke like that, and it goes to y'all. Not the only two. It goes to my other nephew and his mom. Yeah. It goes to my other nieces and her mom. It goes to all of them. That everybody need to sit down and be like, yo, how can I figure this shit out with my kid? Right. We all still alive, dog. How can we figure this shit out with my kid? And that's why we doing this interview, because that's my niece, that's my Lord, and I wanted Akira to be real and raw and uncut. The same way as our mom. Like I said, go back, look at Wanda Thomas on that interview. Her shit is raw and uncut. She talking about everything that she been through. Nigga. Right. Uncles, moms, dads, all types of shit. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna get off track of that. But I'm just saying, what y'all gonna understand, it's a similarity to the interviews that what she just saying. It just made me think about certain shit. This shit was crazy. You know what I mean? Right. But that's why I wanted to get to that. So off topic of her and all that, you know what I mean? Let's go to your dad, what you can remember with your dad. So at this time too, so your dad, he from Cherry Hill, South Baltimore, yes. Right? So you probably had to break that down. So your mom is from where?
My mom is from
I don't know.
She's from like East Baltimore, Kennedy Street for real. So my mom grew up over east, like by Lake Clifton and all that for real. By Kennedy.
So really,
my mom, that's where she grew up from, but my mom met my dad from Clementine. Clementine is a mutual friend between them. My dad is from Cherry Hill, South Baltimore, not too far.
He's born and raised?
Born and raised. Born and raised, everything from South Baltimore. So family, my dad's family is from South Baltimore. All of his father, which is my grandfather, is from South Baltimore. So, and I'm from South Baltimore. So, like, most of my family came from South Baltimore, and literally East and South Baltimore is my family.
About South, you might say from Southeast.
Put like nothing else. So, yeah.
So as a kid growing up, what you remember the good and the bad times from your dad?
I remember the great times, which. Unfortunately, like I said, I lost my dad.
We just gonna get it. I'm gonna get
there.
I ain't gonna mention that yet.
And unfortunately, I lost my dad recently. But jump into that. I had great times with my dad because my dad was a super dad. My dad had 6 kids biologically, and then we have 4 to 5 other step siblings. And I wouldn't say steps. I'm not gonna mention the names. Which are my biological sisters and brothers. I would never in real life call them my step sisters, step brothers. They are my sisters because my father and their mother shared a 12-year relationship. So me and my dad relationship was uphill, downhill because I was my father's second born daughter. And my older sister took a lot of attention from me because, like I said, my dad didn't know about me until I was about 1. And I already had somebody else's name for a middle name, and then I didn't have his last name. All 5 of my father's children have his last name. I'm the only one with the last name of my mom. So it kind of like, but my siblings picked on me about it, and I was an outcast. So I tried to bond with my dad, but my dad was really stern. Like, my dad was the way he was. He didn't have a father. He wasn't raised by his biological father. So he kind of didn't know how to like show affection, and like we didn't do hugs, and we didn't do father-daughter things and kisses and things like that. So I was more stern. So, but like my dad never beat me though. Right. My dad, he didn't believe in hitting his girls because he wanted us to know that that's not okay for a man to do that to us. So he had rules, and my dad did like financial wise, he always took care of me all the way up until I was an adult. My dad, I didn't go my phone for anything. I was spoiled like really bad. So It's like
so that means, do you think was you closer to your dad even
no
more than your mom, even though your mom raised you?
I wasn't closer to neither one.
Oh, so it was like neutral in the middle.
It was neutral. No, I love my dad more than I love my mom. My mom kind of chaos my relationship with my dad because she knew that me and her had a rocky situation. So she would tell me that my dad didn't love me, and she would like kind of bash him.
Yo, I never. This shit's so new to. I'm just drunk though, but it's so new to me though. Like I can't say you lying or not because I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know and shit. You know what I mean?
If he cared about you, he would come get you. If he cared about like sorry.
But it's a lot of black women do that.
It's a lot of. She was hurt.
But that baby father shit.
She was hurt because my dad moved on. My dad had different.
So you think if they would have stayed together, that shit wouldn't.
It wouldn't never work.
Like that,
it would have never worked.
But it's a lot. It's a lot. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to just keep making it
so
like a circle about her, but it is a lot of women like that.
To be specific, my mom and dad was never together when I was born. They were together before I was born.
I think it was just buddies.
No, they were lovers. They
I
loved.
mentioned that. Like
they loved each other. They lived with my grandmother and all the good stuff. They was like that was hood love, y'all.
Hood love. Cool, like.
So they remained friends always. But my mom and dad
they did have a lot of respect.
Didn't have no damn business being together at all. So my mom and dad broke up before she knew I was pregnant. My mom did, like I said, she didn't have no clue. And then they got back together when he came home and they got a DNA test. My mom brought me to the jail. My dad found out that they had my brother. As soon as he came home, they had my brother, and then they was together for a little bit and they broke up, and that was it. You know.
Yeah.
So. Like it was.
But not to cut you off, but let me say this one thing too, and hopefully I'm not wrong in that. But one thing I do know about her mom and Rudy is that Wanda never told me that she never had no child support and nothing like that.
Yeah,
that's what she told me. So, but every time they got around each other, you know, if her mom had a boyfriend or husband, or if he had a wife or something like that, it was always a mutual respect, and that's what I try to get everybody to understand. It's like, you know, you can move on in life, you know what I mean? But when you got kids, yo, just show that you can grow, just so you can grow and all that. So I want to give her mom respect on that. As far as my sister, is that like they, you know, because I remember that like they got around each other, really. Him and Wanda, like they always show respect. Right. I forgot we was at somewhere. It was at a fucking Chuck E. Cheese. It was somebody's birthday. It was coming Aiden's or somebody. I said something one day. I was like, yeah, Rudy, that's my man. You know, back in the day, that nigga would kill him, like shoot somebody. He pulled me to the side. He's like, yo, Lute, chill, man. You know, I ain't like that no more. He said, you know, I ain't like that no more. Chill, though. Right? I can take a back. Oh, come on, you can't do on your interview. What you doing? Oh my goodness. So you gotta come on with your interview. I can't do this by myself. I'm sorry. So I guess she's taking a phone break right now, though. But yeah, man. But I'm drunk. You know what I mean? So I just want to say though, man. You know, I do these interviews, man, because it's real important. You know, leave a legacy. That's what my hat says. And you know what I mean? I just appreciate everybody watching my videos though, man. You gotta leave a legacy and make sure everything is good with everybody. You know what I mean? So that's the main key, that's the main thing. You know what I mean? When you die, you're still alive, man. Write your own Bible. Basically instructing me before leaving earth. Drink a little bit of wine. It's my last time drinking. Not my last time drinking though, but in this interview soon though. You know what I mean? And you know, they're laughing and giggling and shit. Come on! They get that. It's not my interview. I gotta entertain her while she coming though. So I don't know. We got a little candle. Let me love you down. Even though you take alright. Suck my butt cheek. Let me love you down. I might use the bathroom. Ghetto was a motherfucker, but hey, fuck it. Somebody gotta do it. You dig me? Here we go. Come on, Akira, at 45 minutes. Let me Yeah, 50 minutes. I usually do my interviews for an hour. So, oh my goodness, man, they playing music and all that. Hopefully that do not pick up. So, see how I do interviews, everybody just get up and walk away. It's 50 minutes and all that. So, let me love you down. Appreciate y'all watching my stuff though.
Huh?
Yeah, let's subscribe to the
Can't
channel.
get me one.
What's going on with that?
What's up, love?
Oh, he recording.
Came in here looking like Mace. I hope that, who's playing that music out there? Come on, kid.
Alright, I'm coming.
You going out here tonight? What? You out tonight, Lord?
Probably.
This nigga.
Yeah, I'm like, well,
Drinks on you?
you talking about a vibe? That nigga is a vibe. Like,
Well, hopefully, somebody's playing some music out there. I hope that shit.
yeah.
Nah, cause I don't want that. You know, YouTube, they got. It's crazy how YouTube
Oh,
got like.
copywriting.
Yeah, YouTube got like fucking elephant ears. You can pick that shit, but hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we talking about your dad.
Shit. Where did we even begin it? All right. So like I said,
No, you saying he was a cool dad.
yeah, like I had a cool dad for real. So my dad was real stern. Like he was financially. What can I say without this video getting taken down? Like,
What you mean?
like the dope boy. Like my father was selling drugs. That's what he did.
Well, nah, that's not.
Yeah, like that's what my dad did for real.
But not even that. You say he just did what he had to do.
He
to
did.
survive.
He did. No,
Survive.
not just to survive. Like then he was well beyond surviving. He was like, he had 6 kids, and all 6 of his kids was taken care of, down to my 7-year-old brother.
But this, I don't want to argue with you though. But this, when you keep saying that, I don't want to. It seemed like it's kind of favoritism a little bit now.
It was favoritism.
No, I'm saying because it seemed like you just moving your mind out the way.
I did. I will. Because the
But she
fact
tried her
that
best.
he no,
She tried her best.
she tried, but then she didn't do what she had to do. Like
So
my dad, like always.
both of them didn't have a 9 to 5 then, basically.
Nope.
At that time.
No, my mother did. My mother was she was a nurse. My mother she worked for mental retardation with adults.
That's
So,
a good job then.
It is until she lost it.
No, but she.
No.
But that's
The
what I'm saying.
thing about it is, my mother fell into a funk.
A who?
A funk. Like a
What is
like a
that?
depression. So basically, after my sister's father died, unfortunately, like I told y'all from the beginning, we lived with him for a couple of years. He died.
I get it. What you about to say? I think.
Yeah.
No. You know what? I don't want to cut it. I think you saying that whatever your mom was going through,
She went through
she
it.
was taking it
She
out on
took
y'all.
us through it. Yes.
All right.
She took
So, but
us
your
through
dad.
it.
So, what your dad
And
didn't do
anything
that.
that he went through, he
Yeah,
went
he
through
didn't do that to his
privately.
kid.
He did never
Okay.
take it out on us.
So that's why you feel like you closer. That's
No,
you was closer
I
to him?
felt like I was more so. I could talk to my dad all the time, and it's like even if he fussed with me, even if he disagreed with me, I can always talk to my dad. My mom, I don't care. I say what I say. It's like a brick wall, straight up brick wall. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting words from her. To this day, like I
Do
look
you
at
think she was a mom and a dad, or she just was?
she was my sister.
She was hardcore though, nigga.
I say this to say like she was my sister. Like I'm also talking to her like, man, we like, man, what's up? Like, we texting like, telling each other like it's not a bad thing, but it's like a situation where like I feel like I needed more support from a mother side, from more of a woman that was old. Yeah, I needed a mother and not somebody to be raised as my child. Because I felt like I was raising my mother and she wasn't raising me.
That makes I feel like it was the order though. So I don't want you to get too sentimental and get the crown right now in front of the Lord up quick. So now you said when you talk about your dad, so now we talk about the bad situation that happened. You know what I mean? So you can get into that. So he passed away.
Yeah.
And just the good memories you remember.
Unfortunately, like I said, I tell a lot of people, unfortunately, so last year.
That was my man too. But before she get into it though, man, like he was, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know, but like when I met him when I was a kid and all that, you know what I mean? And he was a good nigga though, man. You know what I mean? As much as what she's saying about her mother, because that's my sister and wanted to know how she was though. You know what I mean? Like, you know, my sister was taking that nigga through a lot of shit, man. But that nigga always stayed with my sister though, dog. Like he always, you know what I mean? Like I could tell that he really loved my sister. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if they was arguing or nothing like that, man. Like he was a real humble nigga. I never seen him, you know, cussing my sister out, trying to punch her or whatever the fuck they were going through. You know, behind the scenes it was. But when I got around him, it was all love and you know what I mean. Like and when she got around him too, they had a respect for each other. You know what I mean. I appreciate that though. So I just wanted to say that before she get into it though. But that nigga was a cool nigga. You know what I mean. Like I really fuck with him. Like yo was a cool, humble nigga from South Baltimore. You know what I mean. So you go ahead, like you know what I mean. And it's sad. Just you know what I mean. Go ahead.
Like a lot of people don't know. I lost my dad last year. Due to I lost not too long ago. Like, so I lost my dad last year to a fight of sickle cell. A sickle cell is a blood disease which fights off your immune system. So a lot of people aren't able to do things and do a lot of activities, and not even just that. It's a lot to sickle cell that I'm not really truly educated on myself. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I do, but I saw what my dad went through as far as crisis, and like far as like him being in the hospital, blood transfusion, and having like stems put inside his like IVs put inside his chest because he couldn't, like his veins would be weak and stuff like that. So it was a lot. Like it was so bad, like to the point that my dad was known by name from nurses because he was there so much. And unfortunately, my sister suffered from that too, my younger sister. And so around this time, I believe that I lost my dad due to COVID, because if it wasn't a COVID, I would still have my dad. Because my dad died because of leakage of blood in his system. I don't understand how you don't understand somebody's bleeding internally, and then you give them a blood transfusion and you make them bleed even more. So, like I said, unfortunately, due to lack of healthcare providers and lack of people doing what they need to do as far as their jobs, I lost my father. And a lot of people lost their family members during that. So it wasn't just me. It was like, or me, like I said, and my siblings. It was a lot of people that was losing their family members. But at that duration of time, my dad was like staying home. He was borrowing oxygen machines because my dad did not want to go to the hospital. Because like I told you, sickle cell attacks your immune system. So if my dad, it's not like regular people like me. I had sickle cell anemia, and it's different. I had suffered from like pneumonia and stuff like that when I caught COVID last year, unfortunately, in July. It was different because when I caught it, I was suffering from different symptoms, but I wasn't suffering like deadly, like on life support and stuff like that. My dad would have died from COVID, so he did everything to prevent himself from going into the hospital. So when he finally admitted himself to the hospital, it was like so much they can do, but it was a lot they should have did before a lot of things was done to him, like far as the blood transfusion and the fluids and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, they pumped so much fluids into my father's body that his skin was deteriorating from his skin. His flesh was coming off his body. Like, Harbor Hospital, and I'm going to call it out, Harbor Hospital fucked my father up. And less than, like, you can't tell me shit because it's a difference between losing your father and being on the phone with your father. I was on the phone with my father every day. I was watching my father die. That's different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you were telling me, like, I was just on the phone.
It's like, no, one day I got a call and he was dead. I literally my father was in the hospital for 2 days. Boom, he called my phone, like, Akira, I'm good. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they just told me he was in the hospital. Like, Daddy, you good? Like, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. You know me. I'm going to get out of this. Like, Rob, birthday coming. I said, don't worry about Rob. I got him. He good. Like, you know, we gonna get this together, Dad. Just worry about getting his strength up. Boom. He back in life support. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, he got this. My father never been in this state. Ever.
Yeah.
Like, ever during his sickle cell. Like, he found out he had sickle cell when he was 7. So my father's never been in this deep of a state. So I'm like, okay, my dad got this. I'm praying every day. I'm just fighting. And I'm like, then they call me, like, I'm on a FaceTime, like, on the phone. I'm watching my father lifeless, like, not dead, but like he was in a vegetable state. Like, my dad shaking and like he not responding. Like, he was in tubes and nobody could touch him. I believe in when you give good energy to people that feed off. So I feel like if somebody was there to able to touch him, pray on him, and like be there for him, like it would be a better effect than for him to. He died alone. All in all, during this COVID shit, y'all don't understand that how much this shit. Y'all talking about catching it, getting sick. People were dying alone, getting cremated, and not getting proper burials. Like,
a lot of
people was getting. It was really fucked up for the family, for real. So, like, yeah. My dad Shorty was slowly dying. He died by himself. We get the call, and it was super, super, super devastating because, like I said, I had my dad until I was 21 of age, which is really good because a lot of people don't get that experience to have a dad like I did. And I'm not going to sit there and say, like, it's the worst thing because people use their children, their fathers at a young age, like my sister did. She lost her father when he was 4. Well, she was 4. He got hit by a car, and she doesn't understand the pain that I feel now because a life like that, and a spirit like that, and a person like that, and it just gets snatched away from you is different. Yeah. And to plan my dad's funeral and like to attend my father's funeral, and then unfortunately, like I can't see, like I got my dad tattooed on my face right here. Close to me because I didn't know what to do. Like I was numb for a while, because everybody know my uncle, which is his father, my grandfather, he lost his dad too, and my mom, I watched her go through a really hard time because I went through a hard time myself too because I lived with my granddad too, and he was an amazing person, a really good man. And my granddad taught me life lessons. Shoveling snow. Like my granddad took me in. I'm 5'3". So if I'm like 10 years old, I'm like freaking 4'11". I'm like 4'5". Like granddad, I'm not fitting to shovel no snow that's to my waist. Like my granddad taught me the value of $1. Like he would skip us out of money. So cause we was being lazy. Like he did not play. Like so. It was like to have strong male figures in your life, and like for them to be at the finish line, you be like, wow, like
that's a sad thing.
What is this life coming to you? Like it questions your own life and your own time on this earth because you be like, wow, like God took these people that I would have never thought that I would live the day that I would have got a call, and I seen my own grandfather get carried out in the body bed.
Or just that, is that everybody is young now still living in there.
Mind you, our granddaddy was like, what, 50-something? Like, he wasn't
He
even.
probably would have been like 60 something. Like, or he about to be 70.
No, at the time he passed away, he
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even in his 60s yet, was he?
He was like 58.
Yeah, granddaddy was young. I'm talking about sharpest dude you will ever meet. And ain't nobody, this is my private sessions with my granddad, because I used to get off the bus. I used to go to Ace, and I used to catch the bus and the train. So I used to get off the train, and I used to walk up the street like, where my granddad at? On the corner selling bean pies. He'd be like, eat the bean pie. I'm like, granddad, I tried this shit one time. Like, I'm like, I'm not keep bean pies. Like, oh my god, like, all right. And he had the smoothest deep voice you ever meet. I'm pretty sure that's how he got the ladies for real. But clean dress, not like smell goods, like clean shave. He ain't play that. Like my granddad came outside clean, sharp, fresh, ready to go.
Yeah, she talking about everybody that passed away. And this is
All the
this
male figures in my life.
Everybody been getting through. So, like I said, most likely I know this interview been an hour or something like that. So I always end it like this. If y'all want a part 2 or something, let me know. But I always end it like this. I say, you know, when it's all said and done, you know, you die today tomorrow, what you want your legacy to be remembered by, you know, for the family, your friends, and all that. You know what I mean? Just give everybody, like, you know, if something happened to you, what you want everybody to remember you by?
Make sure you remember me by being a loud mouth, being a smart ass. I'm a smart ass. I don't care. I'm glad to show it.
I mean, well, you probably had a good heart. Well, good heart.
I have a great heart, but I'm just.
I mean, it's about your business, you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Now, I can say if anybody calls you about doing some fucking hair, you know what I mean? Like you'll do their hair, even if niggas trying to short you, family members,
I always
short
did
you
it,
money
yeah.
and all that, you know what I mean? Like, I would say that
I'm just lit. I'm a fucking lit person.
I would say that cause I don't even supposed to be talking for you, but I would say that you just follow you know what I mean? Just what you supposed to follow though. Just like, because I tell everybody, I say God, I said the definition of God just means power, you know what I mean? So people got the power to create their own situations and all that. So I tell everybody that God give everybody their own journey in life. And I mean, so I try to tell everybody, I say, yo, like if my journey was the MySpace and the Baltimore battles, that wasn't everybody's journey. I said, that's my shit. You know what I mean? I said, if I passed away and shit, that's me. That y'all gotta make sure, like, you know what I mean? So if Akira got the hair, if she know how to fucking whatever you was doing and all that. Same thing with Jalafia. Because both of y'all two was that's the only two known. No, y'all was the only two known. You know what I mean? Because I said that before. I said, yo, I want y'all two to get a shot together. I kept saying, I want y'all two niggas to get the two lords get the shot together. That's all I kept saying. I said y'all two niggas, but
I didn't believe in myself.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's not even that.
But not that. But that's what I'm saying. You gotta believe. I tell everybody this. No, I tell everybody this. I said, have God first. Have your kids and all that. And if a strong man come in the middle, then, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, some guys come out this bitch just want to, I'm saying, Karen, we trying to clap their cheeks. And niggas just, I mean, that's how niggas be, because niggas trying to fuck.
That's what most Baltimore niggas do, though.
No, we talking about guys in general. Guys in general just trying to have sex, get somebody pregnant, and then
go on and like,
so
just know this about me. I know. I'm grown. I done lived a life.
You gotta have somebody like, yo, Kira, fuck all them niggas, y'all. Do that hair, Kira. Be nice with that hair, yo.
Hey, I support this.
I was supporting it. I said, Kira, we need to get some blow dries in this bitch.
Yes.
He was like,
he was trying to make me like turn my whole fucking apartment to a shop.
Because I told you, look,
bro, I'm not.
But look, because I told you it was a bitch down. Excuse me, I don't know your name, but it was a girl named Greenmouth. She did my hair. She had a sign.
You when he had dreadlocks.
She had a sign of that bitch. I went in there. I seen this bitch smoke weed, and this bitch made $3,000. I seen this bitch made over $3,000. She did my hair, and she was doing, cause you know, like them. Whatever she was doing, them type of, whatever the fuck cost $200. She made so much money. She was in this bitch just smoking weed. And just, she was like, yeah, you know, I'm in here, I pay my bills, I'm chilling. So I seen how she was just doing everything in her own comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I got two nieces that's I wanted to tell her that. I got 2 nieces is way better than you, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, but I think at that time y'all didn't know how to do the locks and shit
No,
like that.
I don't fuck
But y'all knew how
locks.
to do like the braids and the faux locks and
soft locks,
the
weaves,
braids and
all
shit like that. But I'm like, yo.
clippies, I can do that, but like, I just, the locks, that shit.
But this is
I
stuff.
don't
This
know.
is stuff. You know what I mean? But
Shit.
hey, look, man. Appreciate y'all watching the interview. She can give her Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok.
Yeah,
I don't got all that shit.
You
but
can
she
follow me
give
on
it up.
Instagram at Just Call Me Kira, JUSTCALLMEKIRA. That's over there. Yeah, follow me. You'll see my head page in my bio. As always, if any requirements, just hit me in my DM.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the interview. Hey man, if y'all enjoyed this, maybe laughed and giggled and cried. I don't know. If y'all want her and her mom to get together do an interview, shit, let me know.
Yeah.
I could try to get it together. That'd be definitely be a good argument.
That should be crazy.
Good one though. You know what I mean? But appreciate y'all. But like I said, I get this shit, man. You know, leave a legacy. I got my man Mace in the corner. Take that. I got, you know what I mean? Appreciate y'all, man. I'm about to get up out of here. We sipping. Birthday's coming up. Scorpio season.
October 27th. Yes.
I told you I had to get this interview, man. Appreciate y'all watching. Thank y'all, man. Subscribe to my page. Hey, I'm trying to get her to make it.
YouTube
channel
Keep
too.
trying to make me make one. I'm probably make one.
I need to leave a legacy, man. I'm telling you, we down off this bitch. Tell him, man.
Nigga, I'm 22. I'm gonna die.
We down, man. It's your boy Taylor. Love y'all. Peace and love, baby.